Hey everybody, it's been a while since I have been on my YouTube channel, and it's just because I've been lifing and mommying and shingoing. Um, but I made a promise to myself that I would get back into my YouTube because I'm not gonna lie, I enjoy being on YouTube because I enjoy sharing some stories and inspiring and really hoping that I help people in their own personal journey. So if you saw the title, that is why you here. And the topic is we are no longer dimming our fucking light. Okay, you heard me. We are no longer dimming our fucking light. Yeah. Okay. So for those who are new to my channel, welcome. My name is Chanel, and I am the founder and creative director behind Shingo. I actually have two collections right now on Shein.com, and you're probably wondering what is Shingo? Shingo is a clothing brand, but I always tell people that I am more than just a clothing brand. Shingo is ultimately a lifestyle brand because I want women to understand, and men too, because I intend on designing some pieces for men. But I want women to understand that it is so important to walk with your head held high. It is so important to always have your neck elongated and your head held so high, and you're confident and you know who you are. And that is ultimately what Shingo is all about. Shingo is neck in Swahili. Um, and so, yeah, I've also dibbled and dabbled into some styling. And I'm a mommy, and just a fashion girl, right? I really don't want to continue to put limits on who I am and what I'm able to do. Um, and if you aren't new, then you know I am just Chanel, a diva, and of course, um, into Shingo. Like I am truly Shingo. I'm all about being confident. But let's get back to the topic. So I wanted to talk about no longer dimming your light. Okay. And I'm sure many of us have felt this way. Um, and sometimes you do it and don't even realize that you've been doing it for so long. Okay. So I can honestly say that I've been dimming my light since I probably was about 5 or 6 years old, and I'm 41 now. And I think most of us start to dim our light at a very young age because as kids, we just want to fit in and we want to be accepted. Okay. And that is like just the part of us, how we meet new friends, how we interact with people, we observe them and we wind up being like them or we wind up being similar to them, never really fully being our authentic self because we're young and we're sponges and that's how we learn. And now looking back as a 41-year-old, being a kid is an amazing thing. Um, but it's at that moment that you really start to not not ever know who you are because you're wanting to be accepted and be like everybody else because you're a kid. So I will honestly say that, like most people, I feel like I started dimming my light at a very young age. And when I think back to the things that really interested me, which was fashion, I used to love going to my grandmother's house and we would flip the pages of Vogue and Bazaar. I started like doing that at 5. And, my grandmother was definitely one of those type of women that would say that girls, women don't wear pants, you only wear dresses and skirts. And so, we would literally get dressed up before we would sit down and eat, put on something cute. My grandmother taught me how to set the table at a very young age. And so I thoroughly enjoyed um, those moments with my grandmother. I'm sorry, I have the door open. I thoroughly enjoyed those moments um, with my grandmother. And I would be around my uncle who was tall brown skin, and I always thought that he just was very handsome and carried himself very well. And I loved that because I felt like as a young girl, but I had height over the other kids, I felt like he and I had something in common, and that was just our height and how we looked. And then I had a cousin who was older than me, but she was just like so tall and just very regal, and her skin was beautiful. Her name was Pat, and um, you know, those are just moments that really like shaped my life, and yeah, like those are three people who really helped to shape my life and to help me to be more confident in who I am, because I really felt like we had things in common with the height, my skin tone, how I carried myself. And so I always just felt like I could be myself around them. And then I would say, like in junior high school, I found myself um, getting older, getting taller, and Harlem, please don't do that. I'm trying to see. I'm gonna leave this in here just so y'all can see motherhood. Just so y'all can see motherhood while I'm trying to be serious and record. And here she comes. I get in? No. Sure. You want to get in? You want to get in? I'm just having a conversation. Okay, come on. One of the things that now, as an adult, I can go back and I can honestly say that I was always dimming my light for other girls, because other girls would be the ones that would be trying to tear me down. You know, talk about like how tall I was, or how long my neck was, or how I dressed weird, or my breast didn't come in fast enough. It was always like me being me was a problem to other girls. And I never could understand that at such a young age. Like, why is this a problem? And so I think that in life, um, and it's easy to talk about now because you don't really see things the way you see them now, that you don't see them as a kid. But it's just like in life, when people have true inner issues about themselves, they're not happy with themselves, then of course they're going to like tear you down. More importantly, people sit back and they watch how other people respond to you, how other people react to you. um, they 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 watch how um, people just react to your presence. And I think for me, just always being tall and um, comfortable with the fact that I'm a tall girl and there's nothing I can do about it, that kind of rubbed certain people wrong when I was younger, right? And then as time has just went on, and then I become like a young adult, and I'm in my 20s, it's like the things that I experienced, I just couldn't understand why I was experiencing them. Like I've always just tried just be the best version of me, but that's always been a problem to other women. And so over a period of time, you internally just want to dim your light, be just like them, because if you're just like them, then they won't have anything to talk about, right? But if you're different, then of course you're kind of like you stand out. So it's like now you give people a reason to like talk about you or say certain things. And I've learned that, and a lot of women may not even realize this yet, but I learned that being an individual um, can be really intimidating to other people, because it's like, wow, how do you have the nerve to be just you? Like, how do you have the nerve to walk with confidence? How do you have the nerve to not do what society is telling you to do? So, if everybody is walking around with the same hairstyle and um, the same lashes, and then here you come, it's like, who this girl thinks she is to not want to do what we say must be done, or what we say is the standard. And it's just like, I'm going to do me, you're going to do you, and you shouldn't have a problem with it. And that's pretty much always been me. I've always just wanted to be me and not be like anybody else. Um, yeah, and it's just so crazy just thinking about it. And I can also kind of think back to like being in my 20s and having a really nice shape, having a big butt. Um, people would say that my butt was fake, and I think that's because I had a big butt at such a young age before it became trendy or popular, or it was just kind of like, how does a tall woman have a butt? So we're gonna basically say she built weird. We're gonna say that her butt is not real because we don't have it, or our body isn't shaped like this, or we're not seeing it, and so we're gonna call her out about it. Or like another time, I used to have a really bad gap and an overbite, and it wasn't so much of the gap, but it was the overbite, and I just didn't like it. So I went the old school route and got the old school braces. Got the braces. That was still a problem. Um, she's ugly with the braces. She's got a wire mouth with the braces. Then I got the braces off, and my teeth were really nice. Then it became her teeth is fake. It's just like, God damn, no matter what I do, it is a problem to other women. And now those same women in the era we live now, they're getting surgeries done so that they can enhance their butts, their breasts. That's on them. They're now actually walking around with fake teeth when all along you just was being you. And so, I think that it's just important for people to understand that you can't take what other people say about you serious, because usually people are only speaking about you because that's how they feel about themselves internally. You can't help that if you walk into a room, people easily gravitate to you and want to know who you are, or people enjoy your energy. You can't help that. And that's kind of like always been the thing for me. Like, I'm 6 foot. I know that I'm a beautiful woman. I have a beautiful personality. So for me, I know that I'm beautiful inside and out. And people tend to gravitate to me. People love the way I dress. They want to ask questions. And when you are just naturally like that, and you just organically get that attention, that will bother other people because they're trying to do what society is telling them to do to get the attention when you're just over here being yourself. So I think for me, like now at 41, I'm just at a point in my life where it's just like, I will no longer dim my light for anyone, for anyone, not for other women, um, not for a man that I choose to be with. Um, because sometimes you can date or be in a relationship with a man who is insecure. Listen to the word in, internally. He's insecure. And so having a woman who just naturally just gets attention, doesn't have to do anything to get it, that can be a lot for him. And he can make you feel like you're doing too much. You're dressing like this. When in reality you just are who you are. And so you have to be very mindful of that. But at 41, I'm just gonna be Chanel and be the best version of Chanel. Be the 6 foot girl who loves to wear a short haircut, um, who is very comfortable in her skin, who loves fashion. Because if I don't continue to walk in my purpose, if I don't continue to let my light shine bright, then how will I be able to explain to my daughter the importance of her letting her light shine bright? So I think a lot of times the things that we go through in life, they are a part of our journey. And because we can't necessarily see our future, we're just in that moment. I feel like for me, I was supposed to go through all of the things that I went through. I was supposed to go through people trying to um, dim my light and actually succeeded. I let them do that because one day I'm going to have a daughter and I'm going to be able to now teach her and show her the way of how to handle when people internally feel a certain way with themselves and they try to put it upon you. Yeah. And so um, we can't help who we are. We can't help our gifts. We can't help our blessings. We can't help how other people gravitate to us. We can't help any of that. But what we can do is isolate ourselves, be honest with ourselves, and be mindful of people who try to tear us down and not uplift us. Um, because in life, you're going to go through things, but life is not meant to be lived in frustration and in bad energy. It's just not supposed to go that way. I'm gonna be very honest. It's not supposed to go that way. Um, and of course, we are all alive, but many of us are not living. And I feel like you cannot fully live to your highest potential until you are very honest with yourself and you live in your purpose and you let your light shine very, very bright. Everybody wants to have a light that makes them shine. That's why people go and buy ring lights and put them on their phones so that you can see them clear. And then you have some people who just naturally have a light, right? You have some people who can just go out to the grocery store and people are looking and they want to know who you are. And I'm just one of those people who just have this natural light. And I used to want to hide it so much. And damn it, I'm not hiding it anymore. I'm not. So I hope this helps. And I hope people realize that they're not alone. And I hope that people understand that it is perfectly fine to be you because who else is going to be you? Nobody can do you like you do you. Okay. And if you are around people who try to make you feel a certain way because you get this attention, natural attention. You know, you get people who gravitate to you, and they try to say little things to make you feel a certain way about it. No matter how long you've been in a relationship or you had a friendship with this person or these people, they're no longer meant to be in your life as you start to push forward and excel. Yeah. So just know today we are no longer dimming our light for nobody. We are shining bright. All right, guys, I got to go. My daughter, of course, needs a little bit of attention, but I just wanted to talk about that because I know there's a lot of people out there who are not living to their fullest potential because they're worried about what other people are going to say, how other people view them. And at the end of the day, baby, they're going to talk about you if your light shine or if your light don't shine. So you might as well go ahead and just become the best version of yourself and live your life to the fullest and just not give a fuck. Okay, bye.